Let's proceed with the second application of Gauss theorem, that is to find expression for electric field intensity due to infinite plane sheet of charge. Infinite plane sheet of charge, suppose you have a plane sheet of charge oriented like this, okay, the ends of which are not known to us, that is why we considered it as infinite plane sheet of charge. Okay, now it has sigma as surface charge density, where sigma will be equal to charge per area. Now, to construct Gaussian surface here, we will have to take symmetry into consideration. So, we will take two cylinders, one towards the right side of the plane sheet of charge and one towards the left side of the plane sheet of charge, which will make it symmetric. Let us have a point P where we are supposed to calculate electric field intensity. Now, you have seen the Gaussian surface here again is a symmetric cylinder extending on both sides of the plane sheet of charge. The net electric flux is given by the flux over the entire cylinder will be equal to, because we need to consider a closed surface, we are taking this cylinder, and this cylinder has got three parts. One is the curved surface of the cylinder, the second one is this side of the cylinder, and the third one will be this side of the cylinder. Alright, so we will divide the total into three parts, phi 1 plus phi 2 plus phi 3. Now phi 1, you can see in the diagram, I have labeled this as the first part of the diagram. So this is E dot dA over 1 plus E dot dA over 2, and the third one will be E dot dA over 3. Now look at the angles carefully here. E dot dA will be E dA cos theta, and if you look at the diagram, the area vector is directed towards the right and the electric field is also directed towards the right. So the angle between them is 0. So it is E dA cos 0. Similarly, for the second surface here also, it will be equal to 0 degree angle. And the third one, you can see area vector is directed upward and the electric field is directed towards the right. So the angle between them will be equal to 90 degree. If you look at this, it will be E dA cos 0 will be 1. E dA added up 2 times, it will be 2E integral dA. Now, what is this dA? It is the total area of this curved surface that we are taking. Now, let's apply Gauss theorem here. This is phi. You know phi according to Gauss theorem will be 1 by epsilon naught times Q. Okay. Now, our phi is 2E into A is equal to, now what is sigma into A? In the beginning, we had come across this term sigma, where sigma is the surface charge density. So sigma will be equal to Q by A. To have the total charge here, we will just cross multiply to get Q is equal to sigma into A. So if you just replace the value of Q here, you will be getting E is equal to sigma divided by 2 epsilon naught. So here you can see that electric field intensity does not depend on the distance. Now we'll move on to the third application of Gauss theorem, where we find out electric field due to a hollow spherical shell. One property you should keep in mind here is that charge always reside on the outer surface of a hollow shell. Okay, so let us consider a thin spherical shell of radius r, capital R, with a positive charge Q distributed uniformly on the surface. So this total charge comes up to be Q. And the electric field is radially outward from every point on the surface. So here E will be this side. This means radially outward. Now, this has to be divided into three parts. First, we will calculate electric field outside the shell. For that, let us draw a Gaussian surface here, which again will be a sphere. If you look at the symmetry here, let us say we have the radius of the outer sphere as r. So here small r will be greater than capital R. Now electric flux for this sphere will be given by E dot dA which will be E dA cos 0 degree. Cos 0 because at each point area vector will be acting normally outward and electric field also will be acting radially outward. So at each and every point the angle between E and dA will be equal to 0 degree. Considering again it to be a uniform electric field, let's take E out of the integration sign. So it will be integration of dA over the entire sphere. And you know the total surface area of a sphere is equal to 4 pi r square. When you integrate small spheres, you'll be getting a big sphere whose surface area is 4 pi r square. Now let's apply Gauss theorem, which states that the total electric flux will be equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the total charge enclosed. So instead of phi, we will write E into 4 pi r square will be equal to 1 by epsilon naught times Q, or E will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square. This is a constant, this is also a constant. It means that E will be inversely proportional to r square where it is outside the shell. Now, for the shell, we will find out electric field intensity inside the shell. We had a sphere with radius r. In the previous case, we had taken a Gaussian surface outside the sphere. Now we will take a Gaussian surface inside the sphere whose radius is say r dash, where r dash will be smaller than capital R. Now electric flux will be given by phi for the sphere, the smaller sphere that we have here, is equal to integral for the sphere E dot dA. As in the previous case, here also the angle will be equal to 0 degree. So it will be E dA cos 0 degree. It is equal to E dA integral over the entire surface. Taking E out, considering it to be a uniform electric field, E integral dA. So it will be phi for the sphere will be equal to E integration of dA for a sphere will be equal to 4 pi r dash square, where r dash is the radius of the smaller sphere that we are taking inside the sphere. But Gauss theorem states that phi is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. If you look at this surface, it is inside the sphere, and I had told you charge resides only on the outer surface. So here there is no charge enclosed by this Gaussian surface. So this Q will be equal to 0. So E into 4 pi r dash square will be equal to 1 by epsilon naught times 0. So E comes up to be equal to 0. So you can conclude that inside the hollow sphere, the value of electric field intensity will be equal to 0. Now, we will come on the surface of the sphere, that is the actual sphere that we have here. You know, E will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by, in our case, we will take capital R because R is the radius of the sphere that we have. Or talking about sigma here, sigma is surface charge density. Why I am taking this into consideration? Because I want to get rid of this Q here. Now surface charge density will be equal to Q by area. The area of a sphere, the surface area is 4 pi r square. If you just cross multiply, Q will be equal to sigma into 4 pi r square. We will just replace this value here. E will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into sigma into 4 pi r square divided by r square. We can cancel this r. That was the main purpose why we introduced the sigma term here. Can cancel this 4 pi also. So E is nothing but sigma by epsilon naught, which will be the maximum value. Now let's compare the value of electric field intensity at the 3 points that we just calculated. One was outside the shell, one was inside the shell, and one was on the surface. Okay, now look at this. Electric field outside the shell was kq by r square. That is, electric field outside the sphere is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. It follows inverse square law. Inside the shell there is no electric field, and on the surface it is maximum. Let's have a look at this with the help of a graph. This is the sphere. Okay, we are plotting E on the y-axis and R on the x-axis. That means with respect to distance from the center of the sphere, we are plotting the value of electric field intensity. Inside the shell there is no electric field, so E inside is equal to 0, and it reaches the maximum value as soon as you reach the surface of the sphere. So it is E max here when R is equal to capital R, and as you go away from the surface it varies as inverse square law. So the value decreases like this. This shows the variation of electric field intensity with distance r from the center of a charged spherical shell.